In 2013, children were recruited and used in heavy fighting in nearly 24 situations around the world. In many cases, they were killed, maimed, and sexually abused. The findings are in the latest annual UN report on children in armed conflict. Liling joins us from the United Nations with more on what was in that report. Hi, Liling.
Hi, Asiye. Now, we've been hearing a lot about Iraq, a lot about Syria, a lot about Boko Haram, and this UN report reflects the impact these kinds of conflicts and threats have had on children. Grim findings indeed for the year 2013, showing that violence against children have increased with little progress made toward improving the situation.
The year 2013 saw an increase in the number of children killed or mutilated in conflicts around the world, including in Afghanistan, Syria and Iraq, while the recruitment of children was particularly alarming in the Central African Republic and Nigeria. Speaking to reporters at the United Nations, the UN Special Representative on Children in Armed Conflict provided an overview of the situation based on the latest annual report.
We have 23 situations of concern, 17 on the agenda of the Security Council, and 6 other situations of concern. Unfortunately, 59 parties are listed in 15 situations of concern, 14 countries and the LRA, 8 are government forces, and 51 non-state actors.
Notably, the advance of the militant group, the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, known both as ISIL and ISIS, has made the situation worse for children.
In 2013, we saw also the highest number of casualties reported since 2008, and doubled the number from 2012. Close to 8,000 civilians were killed, including at least 248 children. ISIS and Al-Qaeda in Iraq were allegedly responsible for most incidents.
Syria also continues to be an extremely dangerous place for children. In a civil war entering its 4th year, the situation shows little sign of improvement. The advance of ISIL into Syrian territory has made conditions far worse. In Nigeria, the extremist group Boko Haram has been added to the Secretary General's list for the first time.
Boko Haram's listing for killing and maiming and attacks on schools and hospitals is part of the broader response of the international community to target the extremist group responsible for the escalation of violence in northern Nigeria.
Now, the listing of Boko Haram has also triggered the Security Council, a Security Council move to monitor and report the group's activities for further action. And we've also heard a lot of bad news so far, but there is one piece of good news. Chad has recorded no violations in the year 2013, and it is no longer on the list of countries recruiting and using children in conflict. Asiye?
So, Liling, can anything substantial be done to address these attacks on schools and hospitals?
Yes, there have been campaigns, and in terms of just schools and hospitals specifically, now, there have been an increase. The report did indicate an increase in these kinds of attacks, particularly in the conflicts that we're hearing about in Afghanistan, CAR, DRC, Syria, Iraq, Nigeria. And the UN Agency for Children in Armed Conflict has been working to strengthen its response, and most recently, one of its main targeted approach is to take on an initiative that provides guidance to groups on the ground on how to monitor, report, and respond to these kinds of attacks. Asiye?
All right, thank you so much. Liling live at the United Nations.